Folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do a wee video today on how I do my pavings and cobblestones and things like that. There, done one there on how I done the brickwork from my friend Robert, and I thought I might as well go the whole hog and show how I do the flooring as well. So I do. It's a bit unconventional, I think. If anybody's got any other ideas, then sure you can let me know. Let's get on with it. Okay. Right, what's happening here, folks, is the beginning of everything. I've got just an old bit of vinyl, so it is, floor vinyl. I'm marking out my sizes of my stones, which are all set at 2" and 1", so they are. Once I've got them marked out, it's pretty straightforward. I'll just do a couple for you and then you'll see where we go from there. Again, they're 2" squares, so they are, and 1" as well, which you'll see is got a couple of them up as well to show you. Don't worry about the writing on them for now, that comes off easy enough. The last one. Once I've got them cut out like that there, I grab myself a wee bit of sandpaper. Rough the back up. You're doing two things at once here. You're not just roughing the back up, but you are, but you're also concentrating on the middle part to make a bit of an indent, which you probably can't see in camera, but I can feel it, so I can. And that comes into its own whenever you're doing the staining later on. Take the ends off like so. And again with the 1". Same thing. That's 2 done. We'll carry on with the rest later on, and I'll bring you back when we're ready for the next stage. Right, now we've got everything sanded down, all the 2" and the 2x1s all sanded down. This is where we start the laying. This is the ground floor of the Tudor Lodge, because it's got cobbles. The other 2 floors, as in Tudor Lodges have, is done with floorboards. And if you watch the video for it, you'll see that being done as well. I'll put a link in this one at the bottom in the description, and you can see from there how the floorboards were done. Let's get the glue spread out nice and even. When you're putting them on, you have to watch when you're coming to the edge here that you don't go over the edge, otherwise don't forget your front facing won't go on. So it won't. So normally I would start at the back and work my way forward, but I just got to take into account the actual width. Now, I know these are 2 inches, so I could just measure them, but I'm trying to allow for the gap as well, so I am. We'll start off putting them in upside down into the corner. And this is where the pattern comes into play. Now this inch is going to be a bit too big for that there, so we'll have to cut one accordingly. And there we are. That's the first row in. Then we'll come back on ourselves. Changing the angle of the stones, or pavings as they're meant to be. And you just continuously work my way through. Design's entirely up to yourself. No matter what you do, make sure you keep a wee bit of distance in between them for the grouting. Now, you see, I'm going to be left with a wee gap there. I don't want that, so the gap will go on the inside. And as usual, while I'm making a video, Candy decides to go into one because she's probably seen a cat in the garden or something. And just carry on. And that one round that way. Just carry on like that. Now, you're probably wondering what the heck's happened there. It didn't look like that a minute ago. Well, the thing was, I put you on pause while I cut some more of the lino, and I forgot to switch it back on again. But on the bright side, I was talking to myself there the whole time, thinking it was switched on. So I'm the one that looked daft in the end. Now we're back. Just a couple more to go. As you see, I moved everything else back while you were doing what you were doing. You probably weren't doing anything. You're probably just, by the time I edit this here, you'll not even have noticed, hopefully. And this line was easy to work with as well. You've seen that, if you did see the last video of the brickwork, you'll see it was all cut out the same, so it was. Well, you won't actually, because that was on the wall, but in place. Just want to turn it around to check my straightness. As I say, it doesn't have to be an exact science, because at the end of the day, these stones were cut by hand in Tudor times. They weren't done with a machine or anything like that there, so there will be a wee bit of irregularity, something will be irregular. There we go. That's them all in. Now you just got to give that there a bit of time to dry, and then we'll get the grout on. So we'll come back for that there. for the painting. Now the glue's dried, same with the brickwork, it's again just some filler. Now I've already stained the edges of it this here, so I don't really want to get a lot of overfill on the edges. I just have to sand it down and stain it again. And here you can see a general idea. Just get as much of them gaps filled as what you can. Right into the corners. 'Cause once you've got this here on, well, it'll help keep the floor in place. And if you get as much of the excess off as well, then it'll be a lot easier to sand and smooth later on before we put the coat on for the floor. Again, I've got my own mix that I always use for the floors, and I'll talk to you about that whenever we get round to it, which won't be long. It's the next stage after this. So get right into all the gaps, but if you've already stained it like I have, then you're going to have to be a bit more careful, because I don't want this here getting all up the plate boards. I'm probably talking too quietly so you can hardly hear me. And there we are. Basically it on. There's a bit more filler to go into the inside of the doorway for the staircase, but we'll deal with that there when this here bit here is dry. And there we are. That's what we're looking for. Like that. There we are. That's what you're looking for. Just leave that to cure now. As I say, I leave mine overnight. You don't necessarily have to. A couple of hours and it's dry, so it is, but time's getting on, and I'll be happier with that there being overnight dry. Alright, that's that for now. Be back with the sanding and then give it a couple of coats of And finally here folks, I'm just adding on the second coat what I call character. Just tapping into the surface. There's that dog going daft again. It's best not to put too much character on, because you end up having to sand it again, whereas if you're just putting bits on, you can it's easy to add to, so it is, rather than, you can't get carried away. It's therapeutic. This is me been using all these big words. There we go. I think that'll do for now. We'll let that dry, see how it looks. We'll come back and see if we're all happy with the finish. Alright. Now once you've got the desired effect that you were looking for, I'm quite happy with this here for my floor, but you might want to add different bits and pieces to it with a bit more colouring or what have you. You don't necessarily, you can use any colour and stuff like that, you can, but I'm quite happy with that there. So I'm just going to finish it with just a wee bit of varnish. This isn't necessary for all the houses, so it's not, it's just I like to give it a coat of varnish. It makes it easier to clean, so it does. You know, it's, with all these wee nooks and crannies in it, it does gather the dust. So just a basic splash on of varnish. Gives it a bit of a shine. As I say, it protects it. And obviously, well, don't need to tell you, but it does seal everything in that you've done. Give that a bit of drying time. And now it's had about an hour or so to dry. I'll pop it inside the house and see what it looks like. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, please subscribe. See you later.